A personified dead body, living with a deranged killer as if the body was still breathing. And as sudden as she arrived, she left just as quickly, with many questions left unanswered, the biggest being, why? This is the investigation of the Robert Helpmann YouTube channel. On July 12, 2015, the Robert Helpmann YouTube channel was created, and between the early hours of the morning, from 5:58 a.m. to 6:44 a.m., 12 mysterious and disturbing videos were posted, and the owner of the channel was never heard from again. The videos star the main protagonist, Daisy as the body is known as, appearing in every video title, description, and even the metadata. The channel banner is the default, however the profile picture used is an image of a Daisy, the same name as the personified body. Another person, speculated to be the person who killed Daisy, is also seen in some of the 12 videos. This other individual is a tall man, always concealing his identity by wearing a mask and heavy clothing, and usually wielding a knife. The man can also be seen as being deranged, as in the video Daisy Unwinds. He can be seen attempting to feed Daisy, who has been placed in a bathtub, which doesn't make much sense considering she's dead. After around 40 seconds of attempting this, he begins banging his head against the tub, presumably in anger, and disappears. As you will soon see, the man appears to become more aggressive as the videos go by. As well, this individual may not be the only person in the home, as in every video description, the words I, me, and other personal pronouns are never used, instead being replaced by third-person pronouns, such as we and us, implying there could be more than just the masked man involved in this, although this could have a second meaning that will be discussed later on. The first video uploaded, titled Daisy Arrives, begins with static and an empty chair. After 27 seconds, Daisy suddenly appears in the chair as eerie music begins playing. The description is just as eerie, stating, "Beautiful Daisy comes to stay. She was very excited. We're all delighted she's here." Daisy and Friends showcase Daisy in a chair with sounds of a fly buzzing around in the background, possibly telling the viewer that Daisy's body is decomposing and flies are being attracted to the rotting corpse. After 27 seconds, the chest on the table opens up and the room becomes brighter. The description reads, "Daisy and all of her loving friends gathered for a meal to celebrate her arrival. We spent hours preparing her favorite foods. It's so nice she's here." In the video, Daisy Settles In is where we get our first glimpse of the masked man. The video begins with Daisy lying on what looks like plastic bags, with strange voices being heard. The masked man appears in the mirror around halfway through the video, simply watching the body. The description reads, "Daisy settles in for her stay with us. Unfamiliar surroundings are easier to cope with when you're with people who love and care for you." Tucking Daisy in begins with Daisy lying on a bed with something wrapped under a blanket beside her. Looking closer at the blanket, you can see the blanket moving up and down, meaning someone is under it, breathing. If I had to guess who is under the blanket, I'd say it's the masked man. After 35 seconds, the blanket and the person underneath disappears. The description reads, "Some people just never grow up. Even at Daisy's age, she still insists on being tucked in at night. Good night, Daisy. Sleep tight. You've a busy day ahead." Daisy Unwinds is a video I've already talked about earlier in the video, so I won't go into detail. The description reads, "Daisy relaxes after the stresses of the day." Daisy Feeds the Birds starts with someone adjusting or moving the camera on Daisy, who is sitting next to an empty bird cage, with similar strange music being played. About halfway through, the bird cage opens and a key appears next to Daisy. The description reads, "It turns out Daisy loves our feathered friends." Daisy Tumble shows Daisy at the bottom of a set of stairs, with sounds of a female crying in the background, presumably being from Daisy as she has fallen down the stairs. After 43 seconds, the masked man enters the scene and carries Daisy away, the crying stopping shortly after. The description reads, "Whoops, even people as graceful as Daisy take a bad step once in a while. Don't worry, Daisy. We'll kiss it better." Daisy Helps Out in the kitchen shows Daisy on the floor with the masked man caressing and stroking the body's head, and then pushing himself up and down off the floor. Partway through the video, the man splits to standing above the body, simply watching until the video ends. The description reads, "This girl is a whiz in the kitchen. Scrumptious meals aplenty. Why didn't we invite her round earlier?" Fade out. I'm unsure of why fade out was included in this description. Daisy Plays Hide and Seek shows Daisy hiding behind a door, playing hide and seek, with a posing skeleton and a lump in the bed. Halfway into the video, the skeleton suddenly changes pose and the lump in the bed shifts. The description reads, "We forgot how much fun this game is, especially with so many good hiding places in this old house. Where are you, Daisy? We'll find you." Daisy Playing showcases Daisy hung up against a door, with jazz music playing in the background. After 31 seconds, the music abruptly cuts, and the masked man stands before Daisy, gripping a knife in his hand. Soon after, the man begins cutting and slashing into the body bag, even though Daisy is already dead, with the video ending during this rage. The description reads, "We never thought the old, overgrown swing set would be used again, but Daisy cleared it off and has been on it all afternoon. So nice to see." This is strange, considering a swing set never appears in the video. The penultimate video, titled "Daisy Makes a Mess," starts with an empty kitchen, possibly starting soon after or before the video Daisy helps out in the kitchen, with the fly noises being heard once again. About partway through, the masked man, holding Daisy, places her on the kitchen counter and begins to cut open Daisy, slicing and throwing things outside the body bag, possibly being Daisy's rotting internal organs, with the eerie voices being heard. The description reads, "Tisk tisk, Daisy. Don't worry, we'll get it cleaned up." The 12th and final video, titled "Daisy Leaves," starts with Daisy lying on the floor next to the entrance of the home, with the same music from the first video, "Daisy Arrives," playing, a possible connection. After 27 seconds, the same amount of time as the first video, the music cuts, Daisy is gone, and the front door is wide open. By the end of the video, the masked man is seen one final time, staring out the now closed front door, visibly angry, with a knife in his left hand. The description desperately pleads, "No, no, 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 no! She left us, and now there is no Daisy. No Daisy. 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 We want Daisy back. Bring us back Daisy. We need her here. She should be here. Always here." As you probably have noticed, Throughout each of the 12 videos, before something is moved or an event happens, a jumble of words appear on screen for a few frames before disappearing. Of course, when looking at each image individually, it makes absolutely no sense. However, when you take all 12 photos scattered across the 12 videos, a nursery rhyme is created and is as follows. There was a lady, all skin and bone, sure such a lady was never known. It happened upon a certain day, this lady went to church to pray. When she came to the church stile, there she did rest a little while. When she came to the churchyard, there the bell so loud she heard. When she came to the church door, she stopped to rest a little more. When she came the church within, the parson prayed 'gainst pride and sin. On looking up, on looking down, she saw a dead man on the ground, and from his nose unto his chin, the worms crawled out, the worms crawled in. Then she unto the parson said, Shall I be so when I am dead? Oh yes, the parson said, You will be so when you are dead. Here the lady screams. This rhyme is from a book titled Gammer Gurton's Garland of Nursery Songs, written by Peter Puzzlecap and published in 1784. The only connection I see from this rhyme and Robert Helpmann's channel is the message about death. However, past this, nothing else seems to connect. Many theories have been made about the channel, and I'll be taking a look at a select few that are interesting and some that are fairly convincing. One of the theories proposed is that the masked man in the video killed Daisy and is someone who suffers from split personality disorder. The masked man shows two distinct personalities, with others possibly being hidden. The first personality is a nice guy, as shown when he nurtures and feeds Daisy in Daisy Unwinds, and helps Daisy after she falls down the stairs in Daisy Tumbles. The other personality is an aggressive guy, shown in the latter videos, such as Daisy Playing and Daisy Makes a Mess, where in both videos you can see the man go from a docile state to suddenly stabbing and slicing at the lifeless corpse for no apparent reason. The masked man may also have other disorders on top of this that can't be diagnosed from the videos that may also attribute to his strange behaviors. In 2011, Russian linguist Anatoly Moskin was arrested for having the mummified bodies of girls aged between 3 and 25 that were discovered in his apartment. Moskvin would dig up the bodies of these girls from local cemeteries and mummify them himself before dressing them up, posing them around his home, holding birthday parties for them, and many other strange things. After having a psychiatric evaluation, Moskin was found to be suffering from paranoid schizophrenia. In an interview following his arrest, Moskin stated that he felt great sympathy for the dead girls and thought that they could be brought back to life using science or black magic. In the same interview, Moskin confessed to doing this for over 20 years and was aware he was committing a crime. Some say that this is a similar narrative to the Robert Helpmann channel, with the masked man digging up the grave of Daisy, a young girl, mummifying her, and personifying her around his home in a desperate attempt to bring her back to life, and that explains why he was so angry when Daisy left. This theory could also be tied in with the split personality theory, as it could explain why at some moments the man acts kind and welcoming to Daisy, and suddenly starts to become aggressive towards her at seemingly random times. A theory proposed by fellow YouTuber Inside a Mind is that Daisy and the Robert Helpmann channel represents Christmas as a whole. Now, it sounds absurd, but let me explain. The channel's name, Robert Helpmann, corresponds to an Australian actor of the same name, whose most famous role was the child catcher from the 1968 musical Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. This role is connected to the channel as the Robert Helpmann channel, and the videos themselves appear very childlike, with videos pertaining to topics such as Daisy playing hide and seek, Daisy being tucked in at night, and in Daisy Playing's description talks about her playing on the old swing set. In the video Daisy Tumbles, part of the description reads, "We'll kiss it better," like a parent would say to their child when they get hurt. In the description for Daisy Helps Out in the Kitchen, the description uses the word scrumptious. A very interesting word choice, considering one of the families in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is named Scrumptious and plays a huge role in the movie. On top of this, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is also a Christmas movie, one that many people watch every year during the Christmas season. This brings me to the main point. Ever wonder why there were only 12 videos uploaded to the channel? The first video has Daisy arriving, and everyone is so excited to see her, and in the last video, Daisy leaves, and everyone is distraught at her sudden departure. The Robert Helpmann channel is a representation of the 12 days of Christmas. The majority of the strange music and voices heard in the 12 videos are music tracks played in reverse, with the most common track being a 1921 record titled "Santa Claus Hides in Your Phonograph," made for kids in the 1920s, which features Santa Claus talking about how he hides in the phonograph in order not to scare the children.
Hello, little folks. Do you know who I am? You've heard of me often. Some say I'm a sham.
This track is played on a majority of the videos on the channel, including the first video, where Daisy arrives, and the last, where Daisy leaves. Remember that when Daisy arrives, the song doesn't start until Daisy appears on the chair. And when Daisy leaves, the song abruptly ends when she disappears. Showing that Daisy represents this 1921 record, or, going a step further, represents Christmas as a whole. The channel is a representation that Christmas is dead. It's the same recycled routine every single year, with the same decorations, the same movies, singing the same carols, and listening to the same songs. Christmas is like a decaying body that we invite into our homes each year for 12 days, and during that time, we abuse it and use it to our advantage. People go overboard on spending and use the excuse because it's Christmas. People try to get out of bills because it's Christmas. We drink and eat more using the excuse that it's Christmas. And with all the color, magic, joy, presents, Christmas is the ultimate child catcher. This channel could mean a whole variety of things. And no matter what, until the creator comes forward, we will never know if these theories are correct, or if these videos are even real. Personally, I believe that this is some sort of project undertaken by a very creative individual. If you have your own theories or contradictions, please leave them down below, as I'm very interested to see what proposals you all can come up with. And as always, thank you all for watching.